Hey there, smooth operators and aspiring Casanovas. Built more black here, and let's be honest, the dating game can be tougher than a Wolverine with a hangover. But fear not, my awkward teenage self has evolved into a somewhat charming dude, and I'm here to spill the tea. We're diving headfirst into 7 secrets to becoming irresistible to girls. Now, I'm no hitch, but I've learned a thing or two about what makes the ladies tick. Think of me as your wingman, whispering sweet nothings of wisdom into your ear. So buckle up, grab your metaphorical notepads, and get ready to transform from zero to hero. Because trust me, these secrets are about to change your love life forever. All right, fellas, first things first. Confidence. It's not about having washboard abs or a trust fund, although those don't hurt. It's about owning who you are, quirks and all. Think of it like this. You're a limited edition superhero action figure, and the ladies are collectors. Be the rarest, most badass figure on the shelf. Now, I get it. Confidence isn't always easy to come by. We've all been there. Sweaty palms, stammering words, the works. But here's the secret. Fake it till you make it. Seriously, your brain doesn't know the difference. Stand tall, make eye contact, but don't stare like a creep. And speak with conviction, even if you're internally debating the existence of socks with sandals. Think of a time you felt like a total boss. Nailed that presentation. Scored the winning goal. Chugged a gallon of milk without throwing up. Channel that energy. Remember that feeling and let it radiate from you like a poorly contained superpower. And hey, if you need a little boost, try this power posing. Before a big date, find a private spot. Your bathroom mirror works wonders, and strike a pose like the champion you are. Arms outstretched, chest puffed, maybe even let out a triumphant yeah. It tricks your brain into feeling more confident. Science, baby. Remember, confidence is contagious. When you believe in yourself, others will too. And trust me, there's nothing more attractive than a guy who knows his worth. One last thing, confidence doesn't mean arrogance. There's a fine line between being self-assured and being a jerk. Okay, gentlemen, let's talk threads. Because newsflash, women notice what you're wearing. Think of your clothes as your superhero costume. They should make you feel invincible, like you can conquer the world. Or at least get her number. Now, I'm not saying you need to rock a 3-piece suit to get noticed. Unless that's your thing, then go for it, you dapper devil. It's all about finding your personal style. Something that reflects your personality and makes you feel confident. Think of it like your own personal brand. Are you a rugged outdoorsman? A sophisticated city slicker? A charming goofball? Let your clothes do the talking. But not literally, because that would be weird. Here's the thing. Fit is king. No matter what your style, make sure your clothes fit you properly. Baggy clothes make you look like you're drowning in fabric. And too tight clothes, well, let's just say nobody needs to see that. Find a tailor if you need to. It's an investment worth making. Pay attention to the details. A nice watch, a cool belt, a well-chosen tie. These little things can elevate your look from drab to fab. And don't forget about your shoes. They say you can tell a lot about a man by his shoes. So make sure yours aren't covered in Cheeto dust. Grooming is also key. That means showering regularly, shocking, I know, trimming your beard, or at least attempting to, and maybe investing in a decent haircut. So, you've mastered the art of confidence and you're dressed to kill. Now comes the tricky part, talking to actual human females. Don't worry, it's not as terrifying as it sounds. The key is mastering the art of small talk. Think of it as the gateway drug to deeper conversations, and hopefully a second date. First rule of Small Talk Club. Avoid cheesy pickup lines like the plague. Seriously, they're about as effective as a screen door on a submarine. Instead, focus on starting a genuine conversation. Ask open-ended questions, ones that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. Things like, what are you passionate about? What's the most embarrassing song on your Spotify playlist? You know, get those conversational juices flowing. Be a good listener. When you genuinely listen to what someone has to say, it shows you're interested and engaged. Plus, you might actually learn something. Who knows? Maybe she's a secret agent or a professional thumb wrestler. The possibilities are endless. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Sharing personal anecdotes and stories can create a sense of connection and make you more relatable. All right, my astute pupils of attraction, let's talk body language. It's a language we all speak, whether we realize it or not. Think of it as the secret code to unlocking her unspoken thoughts and desires. Okay, maybe not that dramatic, but you get the idea. First up, eye contact. It's the window to the soul, or at least a good indicator of interest. If she's holding your gaze, it's a good sign. But remember, there's a fine line between smoldering eye contact and creepy staring. Think of it like holding a baby bird, firm but gentle. Next, pay attention to her smile. Is it a genuine, teeth-showing, eye-crinkling smile? Or is it a polite, tight-lipped smile that screams, "Please get me out of this conversation"? Learn to read the signs, my friend. Her posture can also speak volumes. If she's leaning in towards you, her body facing yours, it's a good sign that she's engaged. On the other hand, if she's leaning back, arms crossed, and looking like she'd rather be getting a root canal, well, you might want to rethink your strategy. And then there's the touch barrier. All right, fellas, let's talk about the universal language of love, or at least the language that gets you a second date: humor. A well-placed joke can break the ice, diffuse awkward situations, and make you seem like the most charming dude on the planet. Now, I'm not saying you need to be the next Kevin Hart or anything, although if you are, please put in a good word for me. But being able to make her laugh is a surefire way to make a good impression. It shows you're confident, witty, and not afraid to be a little silly. But here's the thing about humor. It's subjective. What one person finds hilarious, another might find cringeworthy. That's why it's important to know your audience. Pay attention to her sense of humor. Does she appreciate dry wit, slapstick comedy, puns so bad they'd make a dad joke blush? Tailor your jokes accordingly. And please, for the love of all that is good and holy, avoid offensive jokes. I know, it seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many guys think it's okay to make light of sensitive topics. Trust me, it's not worth the risk. All right, gentlemen, let's talk substance. Because while looks and humor can get your foot in the door, it's your passions and interests that will keep her coming back for more. Nobody wants to date a boring, one-trick pony. It's time to cultivate your inner Renaissance man. What are you passionate about? What gets you fired up? Whether it's sports, music, art, travel, cooking, or collecting vintage rubber duckies, having hobbies and interests makes you a more well-rounded and interesting person. Plus, it gives you something to talk about on dates besides the weather or the latest TikTok trends. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try new things. Take a cooking class, learn a new language, join a hiking group, or finally write that novel you've been dreaming about. You never know what you might discover about yourself or what hidden talents you might unearth. Having your own life outside of dating is crucial. It shows you're independent, self-sufficient, and not just sitting around waiting for someone to complete you. Plus, it gives you more to talk about on dates and makes you a more well-rounded and interesting person. We've arrived, my friends, at the final secret to unlocking the mysteries of the female heart consistency. Because let's face it, anyone can put on a good show for a date or two, but it's the long game that separates the players from the contenders. Consistency means being reliable. If you say you're going to call, call. If you make a plan, stick to it. Don't be that guy who flakes out at the last minute or disappears for days on end. Reliability is sexy, people. It also means being genuine. Don't pretend to be someone you're not just to impress her. Be true to yourself, quirks and all, and let her fall for the real you. Trust me, it's a lot less exhausting in the long run. Communication is key. Talk to her, listen to her, and let her know how you feel. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and share your thoughts and emotions. Remember, relationships are a two-way street. And finally, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a lasting relationship. It takes time to build trust, intimacy, and a genuine connection. So there you have it, my aspiring Romeos, the 7 secrets to becoming irresistible to girls. Remember, it's not about changing who you are, but rather unleashing your inner stud muffin. Be confident, dress like you give a damn, master the art of small talk and body language, unleash your inner comedian, cultivate your passions, and be consistent. Now go forth and conquer the dating world, or at least, survive it with your dignity, mostly, intact. And hey, if all else fails, just remember, there's always pizza and a rom-com waiting for you at home.